Alrighty, so here we are on lesson 10, simple interest. I don't have it typed out. I can't find it on my computer, so we're just going to have to work with a blank Word document. But you should be on page 10 of your notes, which is the two white pages attached in the back. So simple interest. Interest is something that you can earn in a variety of ways. Probably the most familiar one would be on a loan from a bank. So pretty much anytime you borrow money from anywhere or anyone, you earn interest that you have to pay back. So at the top of your paper, we have this equation. We have I equals PRT, where P is our principal, which is pretty much what you start with. So your starting amount. The R is our rate, which is our interest rate, and you need to change percents to decimals. Please write that down. Percents to decimals. And then our last is T, which is time, which is going to be in years for now. Alright, so we're going to look at example 1 here. And it's talking about how Larry invests $100 in a savings plan. The plan pays 4.5% interest each year on his $100 account balance. So I always start with writing out my equation, I equals PRT, and then we go from there and we fill in what we know. So our principal, our starting amount is $100, times our rate, we need to change to a decimal, which would be 0.045. Times our time, it says first after 3 years, and of course we're going to be using a calculator here, and when you multiply all of that together, you get $13.50. Alright, now if we do it after 5 years, it's the same setup, but now our time is different, so we'd have 100 times 0.045, now times 5, and that would be $22.50 after 5 years. Alright, so it's pretty much just plugging in and then using your calculator. B says, how can you find the balance of Larry's account at the end of 5 years? So after 5 years, the interest was $22.50. So we have to take our principal, our $100, plus that interest, which is $22.50. So it would be $122.50. That would be our answer. Alright. So go ahead and flip on to the next page where it says exercise 1 again, and now it says to find the balance of a savings account at the end of 10 years if the interest earned each year is 7.5%, the principal is $500. So when it says to find the balance, underline that word balance, and that means you need to add the interest back in. So you're going to have to add that interest back into the amount you started with. So if we take our equation here, PRT, our principal is 500, times our rate, if we turn to a decimal, will be 0.075, and times the time, which is 10 years, and our interest we get is $375. Now we need to add that back to our original amount, so 500 plus 375. So the total balance would be $875. Okay, that's example 1 on that page. Oops. So now example 2. Oh boy. Alright, I had to open up a new Word document. Here we are on example 2. It says, a $1,000 savings bond earns simple interest at the rate of 3% each year. How much interest will the bond have earned after 3 months? So right now I want you to underline where it says 3 months because that's very important. Remember, our time is in years, so we need to figure out how much this is in years. So we know it's 3 over 12 for the months. And if we simplify, this is 1/4 of a year. So that's what we're going to plug in for time. So we have I equals our principal, which is $1,000, times our rate, which is 0.03, times our time, which is 1/4. So when you plug that in, you get $7.50. Alright, the next one, example 4. Now we are solving, or example 3, sorry, for P, R, or T. So it says, Mrs. Williams wants to know how long it will take an investment of $450 to earn $200 in interest if the yearly interest rate is 6.5%, paid at the end of each year. So you're going to write out your equation, and we're going to fill in what we know. So we know the investment was $450, that's our principal. We know the rate is going to be 0.065. Now we don't know the time, so I'm going to leave that T in, but she wants to earn $200 in interest, so that's what we're going to plug in for I. So now it's just solving an equation. So we have 200 equals, when you multiply, you get 29.25T divided by 29.25 on both sides. When you do that, you get 6.84 equals T. So to answer, we would say that it will take about 7 years. We would rather round up to make sure that we had that interest amount that we actually wanted and not less than that. Okay, so for now we're going to skip that last page and we will do it in class together tomorrow. And if you have any questions, just bring those to class as well.